All right, if we didn't mess this up, it should be working. Let's see. I think it's working.
Oh, I got a notification.
There we go. See, I can't mess up that many times in a row.
No,
I'll
no,
probably mess
we're
it up
all good.
again, but you know.
So good. Yep. Let's see. Okay. Welcome, friends. We're doing
Sup?
another episode here, right?
Yep, episode 6.
Episode 6. How are you so clear on my screen and I look so fuzzy? Is that
I don't
truly my
know.
camera?
Dude, I was
Okay.
clear on your screen when I saw you sharing your screen to try to do OBS. I was like looking really good on your screen too.
I
So,
know you looked amazing. So I gotta figure this out this week. Sorry for anyone who watches this later, but
yeah, and
I'll be
sometimes it's
doing
not
this
about the
stuff.
camera you can buy. The human being is just really good looking on the other side, and that just it handles a
That's
lot of it.
exactly what I was thinking.
I
Sometimes,
look good in
you just have
240p.
certain. That's right. I am naturally pixelated in real life.
Yes, exactly. We'll reveal to the audience later on that you've actually been a true AI this entire time. I'm just
That's exactly
yeah. It's
right.
like a Black Mirror episode for me.
Let's jump in.
Hmm.
Well, first of all, always welcome everyone. I'm Steve. This is Clay.
So,
We always talk about what we're drinking today. So, Clay, what are you drinking this
I
time?
got some. I got some good old fashioned Coke Zero. I might have already had one of these on a previous episode, but yeah, here I am
Nice.
back at it.
What year? What vintage is that?
This is at least a 2024 or sorry,
Okay.
2025. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like my Coke Zeros to be that aged, but yeah.
Excellent. And I'm actually doing a white today. I think for the first time on stream, I'm doing a white. Um, Honestly, couldn't tell you what it is. It's
Was
an
the mystery grab
Olivia.
bag one?
Yep, it's a mystery grab bag one. Exactly.
Cool.
It's a Taquine. So
Okay.
maybe in the comments, if anyone wants to tell me what that is, that would be amazing. I've never heard of it, and
It's not Spanish at all. Taquin. Taquin.
oh, it's a blend. No wonder I've never heard of it. It's a blend of Viognier, Gewürztraminer, and Chardonnay.
Okay.
It's a white blend.
That sounds fun.
So obviously I've never had it before, and hopefully it doesn't suck.
Well,
Uh,
no matter what, it's okay to drink the entire bottle, even if it sucks, right? Like,
so just to catch people up, last time we finished the chat server, we went about 99% of the way, and then I couldn't get it across the finish line. But then off stream, Clay did his magic, and everything is now working perfectly. So as usual, whenever Clay touches stuff that I broke, it all gets better. So
yeah,
thanks,
and
Clay.
one other thing that we also got done was deploying the chat service server as well. So now we have two floating servers. So now there's two
Yep.
points of potential failure for our app now.
Yeah. Two of going to be many, that's for
Yes,
sure.
exactly.
Uh, So I know we've been doing a lot of kind of, I don't know, hardcore geeky development stuff. And so I thought maybe today we could switch up just a little bit and talk maybe about UI design, concepts, maybe get some inspiration. I know that you've done a little bit of redesign work already from where I was, which was just absolute utter garbage. So do you maybe want to talk a little bit about where we are right now, and then we can go off and do a little research as well?
Yeah. So just to kind of give you an outsider's perspective of when I first saw the app, I broke a lot of stuff on accident as well in trying to move some stuff around. But a lot of it was because we're going the AI generator route. A lot of it was like maybe some color schemes that didn't necessarily quite make sense for the idea that you wanted or anything like that. But they're all just placeholders. So I kind of wanted to challenge Claude a little bit, and I just did one push. By the way, a lot of this will be me looking at it with you for the first time because we're again just kind of deferring to Claude. This was me telling Claude, "Hey, can you give me a Daggerfall style, redesign of the app?" So I didn't. So I kind of wanted to challenge Claude a little. Oh, sorry, I just heard myself. Let me close that up. So I just wanted to challenge Claude basically and see what it could cook up with if it just went through the app and like looked around. So yeah, if you could just like log in, we can kind of see how the original components look. And I already hate the font, so don't worry. Like we could destroy this, but
Okay. Obviously, it'd be awesome too at some point. The fonts are easy to change, right? I don't
oh
know
yeah, it takes
what.
like 20 seconds. I actually had a list of them that I was going through, and yeah, they're very easy. It's the easiest thing to change out of everything for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. At some point, it'd be awesome for our audience, our future audience, to we could do a little poll or put down in the comments below what you like, what you don't like, what
Yeah.
you recommend if you have inspiration as well.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I am just running locally. You
Yep.
didn't want me to go out to our dev
Local's
server, right?
fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I can tell already, like, it's hard to read this
Yep.
font for sure.
Yeah, the font sucks. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the choice it made for sure.
Yeah, but I think overall, so go into your thought process a little bit about all caps characters versus I don't know what I would call like mixed casing.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
like all caps or I don't know what the right word is. There's a term for fonts like that.
No, no, that's really interesting. I don't know all the terminology either, and it's funny. I've only noticed this all caps sort of style like this, for example. I've only noticed this in high fantasy games. Like I'm wondering now if there's a trope or something that I don't know about of why that is.
If there is, I don't know about it either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've only ever seen it. Like I'm thinking about like say I think Diablo 2 is similar. I think the Diablo games
Might.
are all similar. So I think I can only think of like Blizzard high fantasy games. Now I'm like wondering what WoW does.
Well, let's look. Let's look here.
Yeah.
Let's look for I don't yeah, let's do World of Warcraft. Sorry, my fingers don't work. Since I'm using Whisper all the
No
time.
worries. And so it looks like for the actual text in World of Warcraft, it is like very generic, whatever text, like especially if you're doing the chat. But in a lot of their stylization that I see at least, they had a lot of all capsy kind of stuff, especially like in their logo. I'm trying to think. This is very interesting. So,
Yeah.
well, let's just get down to it. Do you hate it or like it, or
Well, so I was thinking about that. Let's do this. I want to kind of look at so the inspiration of this game, of course, was Wizardry and EverQuest. So I want to just look at Wizardry first.
Mm-hmm.
Wizardry 7 UI. And maybe we can get yeah. All right. So here you go. Here's a perfect example. This isn't even mixed as far as like sizes.
Yes, yes.
This is just all one. And I imagine a lot of this has to do with memory. Like they were trying to compress and reduce on the amount of space that their games take or took. I got Wizardry on actual floppy disks back in the day
Mm-hmm.
and installed it. And so they were trying to compress as much space as possible, I got to imagine.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought about that because now I'm looking at some of these other screens with Wizardry 7, and some of them do have normal casing. I don't know what you call
Yeah.
it. Yeah, some of these. So it seems like it's on certain things like actions that they're using the all
Yep.
caps, and I think you
There you
might be
go.
on this on something that it was for conserving memory.
Yep. There you go. So there, to your point,
Yeah,
oh, see
it
that.
seems like they give you normal casing when they're doing like story related things, and then once you enter
Yeah.
combat, it's in all caps.
Yeah. Also, there's a okay, so this isn't, but see how the names it's almost like fixed width on the letters themselves?
Yes.
So I'm wondering like so the A and the V, the A, the V, they're all fixed width,
Yes.
so they will always line up. I
Yep.
think that
Yep.
was also one of the hallmarks of the old Daggerfall, um, Wizardry, etc. games
Yeah.
was that with characters. Now I don't necessarily know that we need to do that, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
the courier new, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feel about fixed with characters? And maybe we could take some notes as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think it depends on the energy that you're trying to get at. Like for me, I if you ask me what I would prefer, I would almost want to go with just a good looking text that is also sort of modern too. Like I think the game could be like, oh, it hits this retro nostalgia, but also there's some modern like benefits being added in, right? The reimagining, if you will. So for fixed width, I'm not a huge fan of fixed width text. Just only, and I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. But then I think it adds a little bit of clunkiness to the
Sure.
play. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about. But when I play these old
So,
games, I think they look great.
I don't know. Do we decide on like the casing, like what we're looking for?
Oh no, dude, I have no idea. I
Okay.
can give you a list of fonts that I was prying through, but that's about it. Like I think I even asked. I already forgot the name of the font, but I had shown you a couple different options like a month back or something like that. Yeah.
What about just in general the feel of the font?
Mm-hmm.
So this is very pixelated, right? Just because of the nature of the game.
Right.
You can see how the N, you can see the individual pixels in the N.
Yep. I like
Same
that
with the,
part. That's the part that I do like.
so you do like this old sort of feel in
Absolutely. The
wizardry?
ones that the better looking fonts in my mind had sort of like an 8-bit feeling to it.
Okay,
Yeah, but I'm not like convinced that that's the answer. I'm just kind of talking loosely about what I like seeing.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll go through quite a few little examples here. I'm trying to find maybe original EverQuest is better. Most of these games, here's the other thing, and I've noticed this in EverQuest, I noticed it in WoW, etc., is they have their own, well, maybe not so much EverQuest, but in WoW, you have UAs, you have actual LUAs, I should say, where you have the UI language that people can write their mods in, and so they can overwrite everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, in EverQuest, they used to have a big, huge download site that you could download, EverQuest mods, etc. Same with on WoW, obviously, WoWhead and the other ones. I forget what they are, but they all can design their own personal UIs and share them with the community. I guess that's a question for us as well. Do we want to give that modern capabilities so that if someone wanted to just overlay a UI of their own on top of this, they could? Or is that customization something we'll tackle maybe down the line in the future?
Can you give me an
Uh,
example of that? Only because I'm not familiar with that feature actually.
yeah, yeah. So let me show you this. So this is not the original UI.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, this was a custom UI that they created using the same components, and we can do this in WoW as well. So, like, let me see if I can find a good example here. Let me see. By the way, I can see on EverQuest the fonts. By the way, this is
Mm-hmm.
game font. Those are more modern.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is EverQuest, so
Yep.
yeah, they really are mixed casing,
Yeah.
more smooth. I don't know what you call it. Is that what's kerning? I don't know what that's called. I don't know my font wording
Font weight or
vocabulary.
something? I don't know.
But you can kind of see this is not the original UI.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
They
So these games let you bring something in. Okay.
So this would just be what this person sees, though.
Yes.
Everyone else might still be using the original UI. But what it does is it allows people who don't like the original UI to customize it to their heart's content. Only
Mm-hmm.
certain things, like buffs or chat or their hot bar, their health bars, etc. Um, I don't know if that's something that we want to go with, but if so, that's something we should at least write down and keep track of because it'll affect how we want to design the front end.
Right. No, no, I'm right there with you. Did you when you played a game like this, did you ever go through and add these kind of things? Like, is it like a big amount of players that really love like someone would like just
Absolutely.
really want to throw wingdings in there or something like that? Like,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, EQ interface, as a matter of fact. Yep, there you go. So EQ interface, this is a site, and well, back in the day, I don't know if it is. Oh, it's still going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there would be probably thousands upon thousands of interfaces and components that you could download and use. Um, you might just want to download the hotbar component.
Mm-hmm.
You might just want to download the chat component. And the look and feel is different. The fonts are different, etc. Um, However, a lot of these are full scale, all UI, all Windows, and then you can just use that. And the answer to your question is yes, I did, especially when it came to the end game with rating and whatnot. The built-in UI was really, really hard for rating. Back in the day, EverQuest was a 72-person raid. And so getting all of the good data on something with 72 people is really, really hard to do. Now we don't have to worry about that. Our raids aren't going to be 72 people. It's going to be much smaller. But even then, there needs to be some level of flexibility when we do stuff like that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
that is to say, we don't have to do this, but we should at least keep it in the back of our mind when we go to actually implement it.
No, no. So the PM in me would say that this is unnecessary for like day 1 through 100, but the
Yep.
engineer in me sees how it's very easy, especially with the way that the front end is laid out, that this can be priced in at a future date.
How are you holding up,
Sorry.
Administrator?
All right. I think I got cut off here.
No worries, no
You
worries.
were saying,
I was just mentioning that I think that the app can definitely be coded in a way to support user
yeah,
customization, but I think that I wouldn't even be worried about it until like way later down the line. Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, this is just a great example here. You can do your colors, your text, etc. This is not the WoW UI at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so WoW. Okay, so this is pretty common in MMOs. I didn't know WoW lets you do this
Yeah.
too. Got it.
Yep. Um, but to your point, um, let's do this. Let's look at vanilla WoW. That's the original WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if we can do. So some of these are probably lying, but you can kind of.
Oh man.
Yeah. This was WoW rating back in the day.
Yeah, are you playing an MMO or are you playing Excel sheets? I can't even tell anymore. Got it. I
But
see.
you do get the kind of idea here, like all the hotbars, all the buttons. This
Yeah.
was all part of the original WoW
Yeah,
UI.
yeah.
You had two bays of hotbars that you could have. Um, these were always in place, like system and help and info, etc. Questing and raids and your skills, etc. So I don't know.
No, no,
I
this
thought
is
this might be a good place to start and figure out what we need to do.
no. I hear you. Is the spirit of this like you have your skills bar at the bottom, for example? Was it that it could be like you could choose wherever the skills bar could go, and it could be affixed to the top or be a floating thing? Is that how that goes?
Or look even differently. So
Uh
like,
huh.
let me see if I can show vanilla. Let me just do another one here. Let's go vanilla WoW skills UI. Let me see here. Well, yeah. So WoW is a little bit different than EQ, but you get the same idea. So these were some of the skills. This was a skill tree. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
talent trees. They got rid of this eventually,
Mm-hmm.
but you could put a certain number of points in each skill, and then you would drag the skill this into your toolbar,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like we have. Let me enter the game, and I'll show you. No. So these toolbars or hotbars, hotkeys,
Mm-hmm.
these are very, very, very common in every
Yes.
MMORPG.
You're firing them off with your numpad or with your num keys. Yep. Yep.
That's exactly right. So when you get in combat, now ours is going to be a little bit different because it's turn-based, but
Mm-hmm.
people still want the convenience of having these hotbars.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm on the clock and I have to choose which action I'm going to be doing, if I can just press 1 or 2 or 3,
Yep.
etc.,
Yep.
it's so much easier than having to look around and open up a skill book or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Um, but so to answer your question, like they may redesign every component of the skill, like how they're displayed, how you open them up, how the hotbars appear, et cetera, et cetera. What information is displayed about the skill. So, um, again, to your point about being PM and so forth, this isn't needed necessarily for the game at launch. but I like the idea of being able to customize it. So we should bake in the ability to, and it's a little bit different as well. Like WoW and EverQuest, those were actually fat clients. You downloaded those, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have a Lua file that you just put in a directory, and that overwrote everything that's in the UI. With us, it might be a little bit different. I don't know if you have like a Chrome extension or if there's something that we can add on the front end that allows people to change the actual display within the browser itself.
Man,
So,
this is a good question. So, one, I'm incredibly impressed that they pulled this off in all the MMOs. That's so much customization that I am like, wow, that's so much, so many edge cases to think about. And
yep,
two, I think I would be nervous to use things that inject things in from a security standpoint. So using Chrome to inject things, I guess I've done a lot of Chrome injection stuff, so
yeah,
that's actually not a bad idea. My initial gut instinct would be to refactor the front end so that everything that the user sees is sort of like a grid, and then we'll just have to decide where things go into the grid basically, and then the components themselves can be like if there's a skills toolbar, that skill toolbar will just know how to size itself for every grid. But I guess I'm not sure how much like how customizable was this? Was it granular to the nth degree, or
yeah,
oh crap,
yep,
that's crazy. I'm very impressed by that actually. I didn't know that they did all that.
yep. Let me see some of these other
Yeah, I wish.
things.
Maybe I can try to find some sort of builder or something, but that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yep. Um, Now, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
as I recall, like original EQ and vanilla WoW, they didn't allow customization right out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I think was added on, but they must have thought about it beforehand because they had the tools in place to allow people to do that
Uh-huh.
rather than having to refactor the entire front end.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Um, all that being said, one of the things that I would love to do is figure out like what components do we need, and maybe we could create some tickets within Linear for them. So you already have some, of course, like we have the login screen, we have the, well, let's just go through them. Maybe we can do that. And we'll just create some tickets, perhaps. Unless you
Sure.
wanted to talk more about like styling of the existing UI that you created, and we could agree on certain things.
Sure, sure. Like, how about we start just by peeking at like, can you open up like your inventory or press escape? You can do one or the other, just kind of pull it up. Like, so do you hate this color scheme? Like, we're kind of like robbing already the gray and yellow of Daggerfall just because AI ran with it. Do you hate that color scheme? Do you have a color scheme in mind that you had wanted to keep? And then my follow up question would be, Daggerfall has a very boxy kind of way, whereas modern UIs on the web are very rounded. They like want everything to be as round as as possible, right? So I'm
Yep.
just wondering like how you felt if one strikes a feeling more than the other or something. I like rounded things, but to
Me
attain
too.
that sort of retro feeling, I feel like blocky actually gets there way better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this like
Hmm.
I hate all this.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand why. I mean, it's so much easier to do squares than circles and
Sure.
whatnot. Um, and I think this is actually a pretty good representation, right, of the UI.
Hmm.
And I can say that I'm not a big fan of this at all.
Got it. No, good to know. I think it
Uh,
looks cute. How about that? That's how I feel about it. I'm like, oh, it reminds me of like black and white NBA basketball when they only dribble with one hand. It gives me like a good like
yeah,
like it gives me like, oh, that's really cute. So but I do get
with
what
the
you mean.
short
Like if you
shorts.
ask me if it's modern design, I'd say absolutely not. Right? Yeah. Hmm.
So I don't think that we need to be beholden to this necessarily.
Yep.
I do want to though somehow, and this is going to be a challenge for sure. Is you kind of mentioned it, capturing the old school feel without looking too modern. And I
Hmm.
don't know, I'm not a visual guy. I don't know the best way to do that.
I think it might just be
Uh,
through the font. If you can actually do me a quick favor, I threw two fonts at you, and I'm
okay.
wondering if like I want to actually go back and make things more rounded and more UI modern. But some of these, I'm wondering if they get a little closer to what you were feeling of what sort of like that 8-bit pixel kind of feeling from those old games. But then I'm looking at a game like WoW. They use like older text styles in a lot of different areas, but then once it comes to the chat, it goes like it fucking looks like Times New Roman. Like they just picked like a very generic one. So I'm wondering if there's like different fonts for different places depending on what the user is trying to get done, right? So yeah.
And I don't have answers to that.
No
I
worries.
do
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
this. I do like, honestly, I like the feel of this.
Okay.
It might be a little bit hard to read, but
Hmm.
I'm kind of digging it,
That's
honestly.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's great too. I like all these ones so far. They're all better than what's already theirs, for sure. Yeah.
Um, I think part of the problem, as well as seeing it in black and white on some screen, isn't as impactful as seeing it within a UI, like on a login screen or whatnot. So,
do you want to
but
just do you
I
want to
like the
just
direction of these.
do you want to just throw one on and take a peek real fast? You can just say
Yep.
you can just tell cursor to change the font to
Yep.
Pixify Sans. Yeah.
Let me turn on this light first.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one.
And sorry to derail you. Don't worry. I we can look at some other things because I actually have a lot of stuff about the inventory that I want to talk about.
Okay. So which one do you want to go with?
How about you? You were vibing a little bit more with Pixelfy, right? So you can just copy this link and say, "Hey, cursor, update this," and then we can look at it.
Yeah.
And it's a one-line change, fortunately.
Let me go into cursor and share my screen, or move cursor, I should say. I'm going to start a new context. And let's just do this. Hey, I have this link to a font that I want to introduce into the front end. Can you please do it for me?
And then if you could just write like replace everything.
You want me to replace everything?
Mm-hmm. Just say replace everything.
Replace everything. Hopefully it understands replace everything. Doesn't get confused.
It builds out the Google Fonts app, yeah.
That's right.
No, it should be a quick little one-liner. There we go. Just some CSS. Cool. And now you can peek at it and see how you feel. I think I remember the first time I had one of these better fonts. It felt and looked way better than the nonsense.
Yeah, this is really hard to read, huh?
Yeah, but we can make the sizing larger and stuff too. I'm not too concerned. Like, can you go to the create the new character screen? Let's see how you feel about that.
It's not bad. I do like the mixed casing, I can tell you that.
Okay.
I do like mixed casing better than the all caps.
Cool.
So
I think that'll fly better with how people read. I think so. Yeah.
I just don't, for some reason, that like the E's and stuff are really hard for me to read. Like the
Sure,
reroll
sure.
here,
Okay.
it looks like an O almost.
Okay.
Probably because it's smaller. The smaller it gets, the harder it is, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we can raise the font size. That's no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, no, good to know. Cool. Well, we can table this for later, but just wanted to note that it's really easy to change the font. We just might need to keep toggling some over another session or something.
As far as color schemes, I can say that I'm probably not a fan of the gray.
Sure.
But that being said, I don't know what looks good either.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have some ideas in mind that might make it look a little bit more vibrant or modern?
I have a lot of ideas to make it look modern. I don't know how to keep that nostalgic like vibe at the same time without because then it's sort of like either I make it look nostalgic with a certain text and then I have a lot of color schemes that'll look nicer, or it's like, oh, once you do the color schemes and you can't find the right text, it's like you almost like, if you chase two birds, or what's it saying, if you chase two rabbits you'll miss them both. That's kind of how I
Yeah.
feel right now. It's like I definitely want to pick a lane to follow, but yeah, I do have some color scheme ideas.
Let's ask Claude for some
I think
ideas
that's
as
a
well,
great
if you don't
idea.
mind.
Yeah.
So let me just start with something and you can edit it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Claude. So we're creating an old school browser based MMORPG in the Daggerfall 2.5 style. we're trying to come up with a consistent color palette to use for our screens. We want some sort of modern appeal and still have that nostalgic feel to it. Can you come up with 3 or 4 different palettes or schemes that we could use? Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's a great start.
And I don't know why this is white instead of dark mode, but I'll fix that for next time. I'm not sure how you feel about light mode versus dark mode when you develop.
Only dark mode. Only
Yep.
scary people use light mode.
Yeah, I'm in your camp, so
Yeah.
we can still be friends. Thank
Yes,
you.
exactly.
This was going to be a wild fight of Horde versus Alliance if you liked light mode.
It's gotta be dark mode. Who wants their eyes
Mhm.
just bleeding all the time?
Mhm.
Dark stone
All
and
right.
amber, midnight blue and silver, blood and shadow. Yeah,
Do any of these strike a chord with you?
absolutely. I'd say in my mind, dark stone and amber and forest and bronze was what I had in my mind of how you get this like sort of like modern high fantasy thing. The issue with forest and bronze is that it lends itself to, I don't know how to like describe this, but you know in Magic how there's like forest, right? It lends itself a little too forest, like it's too elfy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 But dark stone and amber, that's how I had it in my mind of like you kind of get like this sleekness that's modern, while it's just a very unabrasive set of colors. Like it can go with anything. Like you could even like it's like damn near Uber colors, right? Like so it depends on like I'm worried that if you go with that darkstone and amber palette that you're losing on that like high fantasy nostalgic feel. So that's where I'm at. I'm like still trying to figure that out in my mind, but I don't think the other two quite make as much sense.
So I guess the question is, if we wanted to implement that color palette in here, what's the best way to do that
I
to
we- I
test
would
it out?
I would just tell Cursor, hey, right now, you're using this yellow and gray kind of palette from Daggerfall. I actually want you to change it entirely with whichever one you kind of are preferring to try out first.
So, but I guess like this maybe?
Yeah, I
I
would just
don't
copy
know.
the whole thing and then I go into Cursor planning mode.
Yeah.
hmm
Planning mode or actually implement it?
I think planning mode so it can figure out how to implement.
Okay. Hey, so we're going to try to change our color palette for the front end to these styles and these colors. It's not styles.
That's fine.
Whatever.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Can you implement this for us, or at least plan this for us so we can see if this works? These are the 6 different colors that you can use.
Yeah. One last anecdote you can add, please, for me at the very end is we want to replace all the gray and yellow that was Daggerfall adjacent. That's what I would say.
We want to replace all of the Daggerfall gray and yellow that we were currently using. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. Don't worry. When I did do this the first time, I made sure it put all the colors and styles into one file. I actually think might not be too bad. And that's why when you were talking about letting the user customize, it's like, well, at least I made certain choices and files that can all be replaced at one time.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, I don't know if this plan is correct or not.
Fire it off. I think it'll be fine.
Okay. I will say that I'm guilty of this, and I just usually just let the agent go off and do its thing. I don't even do building or planning, I should say.
I like building before a large task like this. If it's a bug fix, I don't even do planning. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But building stuff like that's sort of like it needs to have context over a lot of files. I think planning is better because it already goes into it looking at the files. So sometimes when I just don't even go into planning mode, it doesn't look at enough of the files. So that's my issue with it.
How many files are we talking about, though?
I don't know. It's gonna need to go and replace a bunch of stuff in a lot of components. So we'll find out after this fix, I guess.
Shouldn't there just be one CSS that we're using, though, to read
Yes.
from? Or Okay.
Yeah, it should just be one file. If you look here, it looks like it only changed a few, but it looks like it had some hard coded values on a couple files, for example.
Because it would be nice if it didn't have to change. I mean, some of these I think it's going to have to, of course,
Well, no,
but
let's pry it open. I can kind of at least talk through how it's set up. Let's if
okay.
you pry up one like index.css, I think. Um,
Yeah, it's only two on the HTML front
yeah,
here.
so it's not too bad. It's mainly doing all the work in here where has like a color palette being thrown in, right, for the theming.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
don't worry, we are at least ready for scaling in that regards. That was part of what I
Okay.
was trying to do with the Tailwind stuff too. Yeah.
Sure.
And then it looks like
Um,
it found a couple files that it had hard coded. I couldn't tell you why I did that, but if you look here, it looks like there's just a couple places that it's hard coding certain things.
Probably because, well, so as we add additional components, new windows, new screens, I assume it's going to have to inherit a certain amount of styling from the index CSS and have its own sort of styling here, right?
Maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know what it changed here.
It said it found something hard coded. If you scroll, oh, there it goes. It's like in the middle. There's like a one hex change from a hashtag. I can't read it too
Oh yeah,
closely. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's all it changed because there's one hard coded value there. And we can probably that's something that later on I'll be like, hey, no more hard coded
yeah,
values anywhere. But yes,
yeah. Let's do that for sure. Should we look at
yeah,
it?
let's look at it.
Um, it honestly didn't look that much different from this. Although I will say that I kind of like already. It's subtle, but it's definitely different.
Right.
Um,
They got some
Again, the
roundiness back in here a little. So it did. I know what happened by the way. It didn't hit every file already. That's what I'm noting.
yeah,
Yeah. Like this
yeah.
looks old. But I kind of like this now. All of a sudden, the change from yellow to this kind of like amber it looks really nice.
I do like the amber
Yeah,
versus the yellow.
yeah.
That old school wizardry yellow. Uh, when I'm seeing it versus this amber is so much nicer
I
on
think
the
so too.
eyes.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
step into the game? Let's see if other things kind of came through too. But I actually like the text even looks better to me now and stuff. So it didn't do a lot in here. It looks like. Can you open up like the
No,
inventory and the escape?
yeah. Not as much, but we don't have a lot of components in here right now either.
Yeah.
It's not bad though.
Can you hit
Not bad
escape
at
later
all.
too? I want to see how that menu looks. That's been a little bit of my big test. Okay, so it's still a little bit off, but this amber looks great.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it gives me a high fantasy feeling. It feels kind of like
Yep,
scrolly, if you will. So
yep,
yeah,
yep. I mean, the font is way better reading with the amber than the yellow, but I
right.
still have trouble reading these E's, and it could just be a size thing. The
Yeah,
font just needs to be maybe a little bit bigger.
yep. I agree. So and
Um,
don't worry, the font is the easy one. We could just we can give up on the font now, or we can tell Claude to or Cursor to go. Not only do a better job of fixing all the components, but we can also say, hey, also make the font larger. It's too small, so we can kind of see it there.
I guess one thing in the interface right now, we lost some functionality, it looks like. I didn't
Okay,
realize that. So there should be the music and sound, or is
got
that an
it.
option? Audio. That's an audio. Never
Mhm.
mind. I'm just a liar. That's interesting. Interesting. I like how it did the styling. I'm not sure I dig the squarification of the
Sure.
toggle,
Because
but
that's the stuff that I would modernize with like a normal pill.
yeah,
You know, like don't worry,
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is just letting AI cook, right? And we're gonna have to
Yep,
come in and,
exactly.
manually be like, nah, dog, this is how it should look.
Yeah. No, I like this. This is not bad,
I know,
honestly.
it's
I mean,
growing
I
on me the
wasn't
more
sure
you
if I
cook
liked the
around.
gray.
Yeah, it's growing,
I
but
wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but yeah, this is getting much better, closer to what I'm thinking.
can you go back to cursor? Let's have it update one more time, and then we can move on to talking about some of the more like bigger stuff. But what I would say to cursor is, can you go and do a better job of hitting all the components? In the entire repo, as well as also saying the font is too small. I need it larger, like everywhere.
This is a good start, but can you go in and make sure you apply this to all of the components within the repo? In addition, the font is generally too small. Can you make it maybe a little bit bigger? Would you say like 20, 30% bigger, or just make it bigger, or what are you thinking?
Let's just say bigger, and we'll let him decide. And I have a quick question for you. Look at the color mapping summary. Does that match up 1-to-1 with the other palette? That looks slightly off because the amount of grays looks off.
The color palette?
Yeah, it was under Claude code. Sorry.
Oh, you're right.
When Claude
You're
sent
right.
us the ideas, I feel like it's not
Yeah,
those
yeah.
aren't all the amber is, but there's a lot of grays now.
Compared to what we had up here.
I don't remember what we had.
Oh, actually, it was in the plan. It's this right here, right? No,
Okay.
where did it go? So in plan mode, when it came up the results, it was over here somewhere. How do I see that?
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I've never gone back to an old plan.
It's got to be a way, right?
It has to be, yeah. It's usually a file. So this is the old plan right here, right? That's what they built out. So,
Yeah.
hmm
When they showed it over here, it's got to be here somewhere, right?
I was just thinking, could you go to Claude Code so we could just look at the color palette again, like the colors next to each other as like a range?
Claude Code? I don't use Claude Code.
You were just in Claude to talk to it.
What? Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you meant. Okay.
No, sorry. The Claude tab where the colors are. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
Okay, so there is a there is a gray. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. So, if you hate the gray, then I could maybe say this palette. I would rather have it move close to like the obsidian for the backgrounds or something. That's the only other thing that I would add. But if you don't mind the gray, I think we're in kind of an interesting spot to play with.
Well, I think the Obsidian was on the login screen. They did have it on the background there. They
Yeah, they
just didn't
didn't.
apply it universally to different components.
Exactly. So it looks like the other components were still kind of sticking with the slate gray as sort of the main background. I don't hate it for now, by the way. I think it looks pretty good. It's kind of got like this old school feel already. So I'm down to just fire off cursor, but I didn't know if you hated it. I don't think it applied everywhere here. There's still a bunch of orange that I see from the previous styling.
So basically, you would think that this should be Obsidian here with these gray buttons on it,
I'm not sure.
or
I'm not sure. It just depends on if you hated the gray or if you think it's cool. I kind of like it.
I can go either way on that. I'm not tied to either.
Okay.
I guess I'm much more visual. I like to see it before I can decide whether I like it or not.
No
I
worries.
can't do the picturing in my head like you can.
No worries. I say we fire off cursor one more time, and then we can come back around and see how we feel, at least with a bigger font size.
Let's see here. I just said a bit bigger.
hmm And yeah, what we can do offline later is I can just show you a bunch of different options with screenshots.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'll be quicker for me to just quickly change it in the browser and stuff like that, and we can see.
Um, do you want to look at, I guess, what's the best way to get an itinerary of all the windows and components that we need?
Good
Is that
question.
just going to be organic as we build them out, or do you want to look at some right now to get a feel for what we have to build out, or what would be the best use of our time?
How about we think about what are all the things that we for sure need to have? I think that's a good start because, like, because now I'm trying to like, sorry, like I'm trying to like organize my thoughts, but there's like, oh, I need an attribute screen for the character. I need to have skills. I need to have, and we don't have that yet. But the inventory is sort of built out initially, and I thought that's something that we could look at first because inventory is like the most. I don't know. I feel like it's like in every single game for sure, regardless if it's an MMO. So
So that's a great call out, and let me show you. Uh,
like we need to have drag and drop for inventory.
all right, so this is original EverQuest UI. So look at this selected character screen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This was the original UI
Yep.
with its inventory
Yep.
system and the characters here. This
Yep.
was the character information. Obviously, the inventory was major. This, as you can kind of tell, was the inspiration for the inventory system that we have right now with the 8 different packs system. Uh, by the way, this is horrible. This is really, really difficult to read, and
I have no idea what items I do or don't have. Yeah.
um, but yeah, obviously, chat in the middle like this is just it's like taking up 30% of the screen, etc.
It's like a modern web app though. Modern web apps don't know what the user wants, so they're like, "Fuck it, let's display all of it," and it's like it just
Yeah.
crams it in, and no one knows what to do. Yeah, yeah.
The skills in EverQuest were actually in a spell book because they consider them spells.
Right. Very cool.
And so you'd open up the spell book. Let me see if I can find that. Um, oh, right here. This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you'd open up your spell book, and then you would drag it to the hotbars, like I was saying
Yeah.
there. So we need to have some sort of skills screen that you can do that. Um, yeah. So to answer your question, there's like all sorts of ways we could go with characters and inventories and skills. It could be one modal pop-up with different tabs. They could be separate components that you
Mm-hmm.
can drag around the window
Mm-hmm.
and move to your heart's content. One of the perhaps most painstaking things within EverQuest was the inventory management. You would open up a backpack and it would open up a floating window, and then you'd open up another pack and it'd open up another floating window. And you could have like all 8 packs on screen, and you could be dragging
Yep.
things to your inventory, to your other backpacks, etc. Um, I guess the other thing is like it's one slot per item, no matter how big the item is. Sometimes in games, like even in Diablo, right? If you
Yes.
had
I hated
a
it.
ring, only one grid, whereas a sword or a shield might be 2x8, or a sword might be 2x4, or whatever the case may be.
Hot
So
take. I'm ready to say I hate when items have different grid shapes. I like when everything is just one grid item. I used to think that that wouldn't be the case because I still like Diablo 2 more than all the modern games. Um, but modern games often are just one grid unit, and I just think that's so much better. So it's just so much more convenient. So that's my opinion on that.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
There's a certain joy that comes with Tetrising your inventory,
not for me,
but
man.
but
That was I
it's
was like
too much.
I'm trying to loot and grind. I don't want to be messing around here all day.
It's too much Tetris.
It is,
So
it is, and
I'm with you.
they started doing this thing on the Nintendo Switch version of Diablo 2 where you like hold down a button and it tries to like auto organize it as best as it can.
Yeah,
But man, I
yeah.
still just hate it because then it's like it just feels like it just takes so long to, and you're like wasting like mental space on it. It's like I think we should just build a Tetris game for people that prefer that man inventory management style.
Yeah, exactly.
Could
All
I
right.
bother you for
So
two things? Oh, I'm sorry. Could I bother you to look at
good.
the Minecraft inventory? Because that's sort of a modern take on the old nostalgic style. And I haven't played very much Minecraft. I probably only played a couple hours of it when I was in college.
I honestly have never really played
Mm-hmm.
mine. This is the crafting though, right?
This is the crafting. Could you click the inventory under images? Or if you can search under images? And then I have a modern one I want to show you later. So the first one to the left, or actually the one on the first to the right. So that seems like an early version too with crafting. The one
Yeah.
first to the right, that seems sort of. Well, sorry, it's no longer the one first to your right.
Which one?
If you scroll, if you go down, if you get, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe the one with 4 panels to the two over. There you go. Yeah, that one. This is sort of like how I remembered how they were kind of doing it. Yeah.
So one of the big differences here,
Mm-hmm.
and again, this was in the modding community. One of the things that people changed instantly is this is one inventory. So you have like what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You have 30 spots in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's your inventory. You have
Yep.
30 spots.
Yep.
So that's different from EverQuest, which and WoW. WoW also went this route. Obviously, a lot of WoW inspiration came from EverQuest.
Sure.
But what happens in those two games is you actually have a pack. So the backpack starts out with 8 slots.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can upgrade it later to be 10 slots,
Yep.
12 slots, 16 slots, 20 slots. And ultimately, there's a kind of a incentive, as it were, to get bigger and bigger packs in your inventory.
Yep.
So you can craft packs, you can find them off of questing, or you can get them in some sort of crafting, or you can get them, I don't know, anywhere. You might be able to buy them in a shop.
Sometimes there are epic drops that then become currency or something. I totally understand.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. So, um, what are your thoughts on having just like a big inventory of 30 spots versus having individual packs that you have to go out and quest for to increase the size? And it's a sort of a game within the game.
That is a better model to me because I believe a key component of all these kind of games is that you gotta craft all your nonsense or sell it to the vendors, or you need to get rid of it somehow, or maybe you love figuring out how to hoard this specific item so that you can sell them at a good price in the economy or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. So I think that inventory management, I don't think you should just be like, oh, you just start off with like, go wild. You should have to struggle making all the mules or all the nonsense that we all have
Yep.
to go through. I think there's like, I don't know what it is. It makes the game more thoughtful in a different way.
Yep.
I've never had to play a game before where you had to earn a bigger pack size, other than single player games. I've ran into that, but I'm trying to think. I've played games where you earn the right to have a bigger chest back in the Ten Main Town.
Sure.
So
I will
so I'm right there with you. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I will say this, there's a certain joy here. Um, so these are different size packs, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so there's a certain joy in going from like a 4 pack small or a 4 slot small pack to going to a 6 slot larger pack.
Oh, you'll grind
You
for that. You'll go hard.
absolutely
Yeah. I'm right
you
there with
grind
you.
for that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love that. If you can do it over and over and, and replace all 8 of your 4 pack or 4 slots with, I mean, you've basically increased your inventory by 50% by grinding.
Right. No, I'm right there with you. I think that's a great idea. So how do the packs work in this context where I saw that they had all the different kind of packs? Do you then enter the pack and it opens another window full of your inventory? Is that how that works?
So you click on the pack, it
Mm-hmm.
opens a floating window.
Yeah.
Um, it's probably gone now, but that was, let me see if I can,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it'll work here. Oh, well, this probably doesn't work anymore.
Not at this moment. It's a little broken, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But in this, like in the original version of this, you would click on a pack, it would open up a floating window, and it had 8 slots in it. Your backpack was always the thing you every character started with, and it
Right.
had eight slots in it.
Yeah.
Later in the game, you could increase the slot size. But yes, it's just a floating window sitting on top of this inventory window
Mm-hmm.
that you could drag and drop all over the place.
Got it.
And this one might be a 4 slotter. So you click
Yeah.
on this one and it opens a 4 slot floating window. As a matter of fact, that pack window, whatever you're calling it, also goes for things like looting. There's chests. There's like if there's something that drops off of a mob or a creature, it'll pop up and it'll be that floating window, and you can grab items out of it. If there's a chest, like there actually are chests in this game,
Mm-hmm.
you could click on the chest and open it up, and uh, in theory, it will pop up the same sort of UI where it's a floating window that's just an inventory full of things that you can add to your packs,
I
if
totally
that makes
follow.
sense.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you can, even if you decided, you could drop stuff that you don't want anymore back into that chest and move on with your life or something. Yeah.
that's exactly
I
right.
think for me, no, I
Exactly.
think for me, from a UX standpoint, I actually hate the idea of having multiple inventories. I like it where you got the bigger bag and now your inventory keeps growing, so you have like a singular place. Don't worry, I'm not like super stuck on that or anything. I'm just noting that the idea of managing 4 inventories bums me out more than managing one that I can perpetually keep growing. Let me know if that makes sense to you.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, yeah. So this is a pack here, or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
this is a chest here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's some stuff in here that's undefined. But in theory, this would pop up a
Mm-hmm.
little rewards window.
There's like 4 items inside of a 4x4 grid or some shit like that, and then your inventory is side by side to let you kind of do that management right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the modern amenities are that window would pop up and you just say take all,
Yes.
and it automatically just puts it in your packs for you.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know. I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on
You like
which.
no, but you like the
Yeah,
inventory management stuff.
I do.
You're like, oh, let me get the perfect amount of items in here and stuff. But my concern would be that not concern. My thought process would be if you have 4 separate inventories and you're not and everything is working off of a grid, like 1 item per grid anyway. Did we agree that you preferred it that way? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Then what is the benefit now? Because in the past on like a Diablo game where all the items could be like 4x8 and whatever in different sizes, the addition of all the different backpacks makes sense because now there is one extra layer of Tetris. Like, do you for sure want this item, or you know what I mean? Like you have to kind of rearrange it. But if
Yeah.
it's sort of just like one by one, I feel like you lose a lot of that funness of the inventory management anyway. It's just wherever I have space, I'm just gonna drop it, and then when I get back to town, I'll play the game of Tetris. So I don't know. That's just how I
Yep.
felt about seeing so many inventories.
And that's an excellent point. And to that, so there's two thoughts, and I'm going to try to remember both of them and not go off too much on a tangent. So the first one is you're right. As a matter of fact, a lot of the mods in both WoW and EverQuest, what they would do is essentially take somehow combine all of the inventory slots from all of their packs, and you click on open packs, and it would open one big massive grid of all of your slots. And obviously that could increase if you increase the backpacks themselves. So it might start out as 30, a 5x6 grid, and then as you add two, somehow it adjusted and added two more, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where a lot of them went, is to do that. However, and this is number two, and this is where I like the individuality better, is you can have attributes on each of the individual packs themselves. So for example, on your backpack, you might upgrade it to decrease weight within the pack by 50%.
But you move faster.
The other pack is you increase your speed by 5%.
Right.
So it again
Okay.
adds a layer of design space that gives whoever's coming up with the items more flexibility to do what they want to do with these individual packs and make them even more enticing. Because a lot of the games, the MMORPGs, are all about the items that you procure. Obviously there's questing, the social aspect, etc., but a lot of it is about the items. So the more
Yes.
variability you can give, the more options for getting items, and feeling like I can show off. I have the backpack of super greed that doesn't that basically reduces the weight by 100%. Like in D&D, it's called a bag of holding, as an
Mm-hmm.
example.
Mm-hmm.
You can put anything in it; doesn't affect your weight at all. Those are huge things to show off, rather than just like, I have a backpack with 30 spots.
No, no, I
So
love that. So maybe we can. So maybe let me know if you hate this. What I was thinking, I actually like the idea of having all those different backpacks. Maybe somebody wants to be a glass cannon and they hold no shit, right? They're always running around because this bag he has 9 of the same bag that just gives him like a lot of power or something like that. And it is because he's out there to chase after one item. He doesn't care about all the other stuff. He's gonna leave loot everywhere. He's looking for one item or something while he loots or whatever. I love that. I was thinking more like, let's say you got 4 pouches or something like that. When you click I for inventory, maybe you could see all the backpacks at one time in one
yep,
kind of situation so you can drag between them. Because I played games where you clicked on the pouch and it opened that new window for that pouch. I hated
Yep.
having to open all of them and then you just have like to do this weird management. So that's actually what I
That's,
meant. Yeah.
that's absolutely also what happened in EverQuest. Um, so EverQuest was interesting. You could do macros. You could actually create flexible macros, and so you could do a slash inv as an example and set it up
Right.
so that it would open all of your packs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ultimately what would happen is so you get the best of both worlds in the sense that it would open all the packs next to each other so it almost looks like a grid. In that sense, you know, you have like in this case there would be 8 windows right next to each other. And
Yeah.
so you can easily manipulate all of the items within your inventory in one window, even though it's not. It's
Yeah.
8 individual windows.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you get the best of both worlds that way.
Okay, okay. Well, do you hate the idea then of kind of splitting it down the middle and like you hit inventory? If you have 4 pouches, you just see them layered on top of each other in one panel. You know what I mean? Or
It's going to be a challenge for us
mm-hmm.
for sure because packs can vary in size.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to figure out the best way to lay out the packs in order. So like you might have a 2 slot pack
Yep.
in number 1 and you might have a 6 slot in number 2. So figuring out how to lay those all out is going to be a challenge for sure. But hey, that's what AI is for.
Yeah, I think I have an idea in my mind, and it's because I'm not going to necessarily combine them all. It's just like more like they're layered in a way that you know which pack you're looking at a
Yep.
first glance. Because I think minimizing clicks will be like that's the modern
Sure.
UI benefit is you make them not have to
Yep.
click 17 times to do one thing.
100%.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
I'm just taking notes, by the
Yeah.
way.
And the only other inventory that I would love to let you see is if you could look up the Diablo 4 inventory. And as you can tell, it's just because this is the kind of game that I do the most. Diablo is the game that care about the items the most, so that's why I keep coming back to these examples. I don't actually think this is the best example. I just wanted to like let the designers at Blizzard tell us a little bit about the direction they've gone. Yeah, like this is the one I'm looking at as well. Like I definitely want drag and drop. I think most users prefer drag and drop. Would you agree or disagree there?
As far as actually like taking it, oh, I know I have an advertisement on Forbes. Come on, get away.
Get out of
Go,
here.
go away.
Get out of here.
Go.
Get.
So there's whoa, hey, thank you.
Ads on ads
So
on
there's
ads.
multiple thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
Double click should equip the item automatically
Agreed. Agreed.
to the slot and replace whatever is in that. Now
Yep.
with
Yep.
rings, it's going to be a little bit different, but with rings where you have multiple slots usually, it'll
Mm-hmm.
go into the first option. Same with earrings, like in our UI. I don't know if you noticed, there are multiple ear slots
Mm-hmm.
and multiple ring slots for
Mm-hmm.
fingers. And so
Is earrings? Is that what we're thinking?
earrings,
Very
exactly. And
cool.
that
I've
comes
never seen that
directly
before.
from EverQuest.
Very cool. I've never seen that one.
So right here, these are 2 earrings right here.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Cool.
So to answer your question, double click is mandatory, but then also drag and drop is super important as
Sure.
well because people are used to that. Yeah, these are rat tooth earrings, if I recall correctly, back in the game or
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. They added like +1 stamina or something silly like that, and they were so OP. You got those earrings, those rat tooth earrings, and you were cooking at that point. You were
Did they become currency?
they probably were sold on the auction house.
Oh, I see.
What's
Okay.
funny, what's funny about EverQuest, there was no concept of an auction house.
Mm-hmm.
Auction houses came to fruition through WoW, honestly, if I
Right.
recall correctly.
Right.
And then EverQuest and all the MMOs now do that. Diablo does it. They have an auction house, etc. But back in the day, in EverQuest, what you would do, there was a Eastern Plains, I think Eastern Plains. There was a cave that everyone went to, and they took their mules and they stood in these Eastern Plains. I think it was Eastern Plains. And then there was a special channel called auction or buying or merchandise. I can't remember the actual channel. There was a separate channel. I know we're going to talk about chat at some point and talk about rooms at whatever. There was a special room where you would sell your items. You would stand there and you would just say, I'm auctioning off these rat tooth
I
earrings,
remember that.
10 platinum, see me, and so forth. So,
Yep,
and then
yep.
people would run up, they knew who you, and they would link the item, and they would run up and they would sell. So trading, of course, is really important as well in this game. So yeah, it
Steve,
was
I was
crazy.
I was the guy that would like, if there's like 20 servers or some shit like that, I would go into server one. I'm selling this. Hit enter, slam to go like DM me. Go to the next server. You're just yeah, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
before the auction house, everybody was just spamming, right? So I actually think it's way better to have the auction house be there.
me too. I hated the spamming and the
Oh god,
manual
I was that
process.
guy. So, and I remember feeling like, why are people doing this? And then when you got something that you really need to get rid of, it's like this is like the easiest way. So,
Yeah.
I know I get it. Like we can get rid of these old, like archaic ways of doing business.
Yep.
Cool,
Exactly
cool,
right.
got it.
So anyway, so yes, to answer your question, oh
But
come
I
on,
actually
board.
like this kind of modern inventory system. This is how I imagine the easiest way of visualizing what it is that I'm trying to do. Let me know if you like if there's certain things that you're like, oh, I need like because I love that you can see the character equip that item immediately. Like there's that immediate feedback, So little things like that, and then you get to immediately see how your power is going up, or like you see the stats automatically. So this is the paradigm that I really enjoy, is like where you see all the attributes as they go up and down. I'm trying to think of like another game, like in Call of Duty, for example. There's a lot of attachments that you add to guns, and they have like a what do you call it, like sort of like a bar chart of the skills and stuff going up and down depending on what you add. I really like seeing that immediate feedback on this screen when you're moving items around.
Let's look
Oh,
at
I would just call
this.
it like loadout or something. Call of Duty loadout UI. What I like about it specifically is you get to see like all the stats that you're maybe like a. Let's see if there's one. Yeah, this is a good example. If you could just click on the image on the right and just click on it so it goes larger, so we have to go to that site. I'll still force this. Let's see. It wasn't this one. If you can click right again. Yeah, well, we can just look at this one. If you see, there's like that skills on the bottom right of that image.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on a second. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
there's
it's just a
probably.
click right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep clicking. There we go. So if you see, as I change out different things on my gun, the accuracy, power, fire rate, etc., it'll just keep moving like a line. I think getting to see that immediate feedback is like so necessary because otherwise you're like playing guessing or something each time.
Which speaks to going back to this image, um, having the inventory and the character stats on the same screen is
Right.
important.
Right.
So you can see the immediate sort of result of equipping a new item.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's do. I think Vanilla WoW was the same way.
Mm-hmm. I wonder
Uh,
what current WoW does. I've actually never played. I feel like there's a new expansion coming. I should try to like do some reconnaissance.
so yeah, like this, for example, right? So Vanilla
Yeah.
WoW, you would equip items and you could immediately
Yep.
select which stats you want to see how they change.
Right. Right. Right.
What they also do, and most modern games do this as well, is you will hover, you'll have an item, and you'll hover over the item that you potentially loot, and it compares to the items that are in that slot.
Right.
And so you can gauge, like, okay, I'm going to gain 1% crit, but I'm going to lose maybe 2 speed or some raw stats or whatever. And so those are modern amenities that old games didn't have that I
Right.
think we absolutely need, is that sort of item comparison before I equip sort of thing.
Yes, item comparison would be really, really nice for sure. Yeah. And I'm looking at the current WoW inventory. If you just do WoW inventory, holy crap, it looks like Bejeweled. Like I am so confused on how people are able to use this inventory system.
WoW inventory.
Yeah, just WoW inventory. Any of them, they all terrify me. Like that second image. That's so scary. This looks like a puzzle game. You know what I mean? It looks like I'm playing Bejeweled.
But this is what you were talking about. So this is exactly what we were talking about 5 minutes ago.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
So these are individual
Yes,
packs.
I get it.
These are
Yep. Yep.
and you want so basically they pressed I, it opened up all of the packs.
Yes. Yes.
I will say this. This is an add-on. This is a mod.
I see.
This is not out of the box. So this is someone who has 2, 4, 6, 7 bag slots.
Yeah.
And somehow they have what? 1, 2, 3. And here's the backpack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Somehow they have 12 bags open. I'm not exactly sure how.
Yeah.
And they only have 7 bag slots.
So when just to go back to that earlier conversation about opening all your pouches and satchels and what have you at one time, I did not mean like this. This is not quite
That's what I thought you meant.
No, no. I'm a little. I was thinking something a little bit more clean, as if they were all together in one panel, but they were just segmented so you could see which pouch you were referring to. There is just like a little bit of overload to me here, where like I don't know where I obviously can tell where one bag starts and one bag ends or whatever, but it just feels like a lot. Do people really like this? Looks like a like Find Three, match 3 game. It's like this is crazy. Like,
So what I'm hearing is we need to do some work on this.
I want to. I just think of that you could present the same data with UI differently. That's it. Yeah, but I like the idea of you pressing I, all your bags are open, but it's just I don't know, layered in stacks, and you can maybe do some scrolling or something. I don't know. Just I just hate this. It looks so.
For what it's worth, this is exactly what I thought you were
Got
talking
it. Do you like this right now? Like you envision that's how that would look. I just feel like it's such information overload.
This is actually what I pictured you were talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's say right now you can't see your character inventory per my current knowledge. So you would need to what drag this over to your main inventory to then open up that new character to then compare
This
the
is
items. You know what I mean?
this right here on the left.
Yeah.
This is modded out, but this is the character inventory.
But then where do you get to see the character attributes for equipment? And that's what I'm saying. It's like now
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This layout
This
is like trash to me because I can't get everything that I intended out
That's
of
right.
it. Yeah.
That's right. So that does not do it justice. Like to your point. Let's see if we can find a better example. But yes, this is what again, we're just repeating ourselves, but that's what I thought when you meant opening it all up.
No, I didn't. I did.
Closer to what you're thinking.
This is getting
right?
closer, but maybe it would say like if you because I do think it's not as fun if you collect a bunch of pouches and you just have one inventory that grows to a massive size. I admit that's not as fun. I was just thinking like let's say on the second row there's like a cutoff and it's like that's the pouch and then the other that's the other pouch and but this is all one screen. That's how I was imagining it in my mind. Let me know if that makes sense.
To your point, this is where I think most modern MMORPGs go, is they just have this one big inventory. For better or for worse.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't mean that we need to do that.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is
ease.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Because of this right here.
I see. Wow, that's new. I've actually never seen that.
Yeah. So this gives you instant access to searching through all of your packs for what you want.
Okay.
Which is obviously a great convenience, a modern convenience, and old school MMORPGs didn't have this at all.
Do you like this paradigm where all the packs are combined, or do you like it where you're managing them individually?
So I have mixed emotions on that. On the one hand, my initial vision for AOD was to be nostalgic and old school. But on the other hand, it was also supposed to have modern amenities.
Uh-oh.
So kind of like I'm on the fence on this one because I kind of like the pain that went with the old inventory management system. But honestly, I also like the modern conveniences of being able to search for items and easily manipulate your inventories, etc. So, but to your point, like this is a great example. They just count the number of slots within their packs, and then they just don't even show like the remaining grid because it's an odd number.
But what I hate about this code wise is that you're now having let's imagine every slot was filled up and then I removed one of my backpacks. What the fuck happens to all those items? Like you have to think about that from a technical standpoint of like where they all went, I guess.
So normally you can't do that in games, which
Mm,
is also a guardrail.
got it.
You literally cannot drop a pack that has items in it.
Got it.
The game will prevent it. It'll say, "Hey, you need to sell the item or drop the items or whatever," and it just won't allow you.
Totally makes sense. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you know what? I think you talked me into it without trying to. I kind of like this better now.
This one right here.
Because for me, this is what like if I was coding a game by myself, this is what I would have done. But I'm also trying to capture and be respectful of like that nostalgic play of getting to like manually do a bunch of stuff. But I also admit that as I keep playing, the modern like UI standards are really nice for just playing the game, so I don't have to be like dealing with stuff that I don't actually want to do. I'm kind of a lazy gamer actually.
Yeah.
So I guess I like this a little bit better. It's just cleaner than all those
Sure.
bags. When I saw the Bejeweled bag inventory system, I just really didn't like it.
Let me. I'm like I said, I'm taking notes, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to put in our in linear for those people watching at home. We're actually I'm tracking the notes here and putting screenshots in for things that we like or don't like, etc.
Sure.
So, yeah. What else did you want to talk about?
Bit, and I just
Yes.
did.
Try to put. Sorry,
You're good.
apologies.
I guess the other one would be. Let's see. We can't. I think we actually see closer eye to eye on the inventory stuff than we might feel or think. I think we actually pretty aligned. You had asked me what else there is to talk about. Like, do we care about like skills, attributes, etc., or do you want to say something? Sorry.
No, no, no. One of the things that we have to talk about though is this will open up again. This is independent of the character, what I would call the true inventory UI, where you're dragging items in and seeing what changes on your stats. Because you really mentioned that as something that's super important.
Yep.
So this is an entirely separate window from the character window that we talked about earlier, right?
Right. Because that would be almost like your character inventory, and this is like your pouch inventory. Is that kind of how
That's
the
right.
distinction is? Okay. So
Yeah.
then,
So
yeah.
somehow I mean, if you're fine, you could have a separate character window, and you could have this as an inventory window. And then when you drag an item from your inventory window into the slots themselves, you'll see your stats change.
So hear me out. Right now in this image, you have the character with the character's inventory, and you have a
Yep.
stash. This is how because I played Diablo games so much, this is how I
Yep.
understand it. They don't really have the pouch system, as far as I'm aware,
That's correct.
in Diablo. So now
That's
in my
correct.
mind, if we threw up the pouch system, instead of the stash over on the left, it would just be that inventory, and then you do all your micromanaging there of the items, moving it from your pouch system over to your main character inventory. Does that sound like what you're envisioning?
Yep,
Got
exactly.
it.
So
Okay.
over here, imagine this stash here. Yeah, exactly. This chest here, this would be your inventory.
Okay. Got it. No, then that makes sense. It's actually just one layer on top of this system, which isn't like it's not even on top of it. It's just adjacent. So that doesn't scare me at all. That makes sense. Because then you would need to drag it from your pouches over to this inventory or straight onto
Right.
the character or whatever. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
Exactly
I
right.
follow. I follow. No, that's cool with me.
Same.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I just didn't want to have it where there was 10 bags open. That really bothered me. That really bothered me. I
You
was like,
don't like
oh
the vanilla
god.
WoW one here.
What was that you
No, not
said?
this one. You don't like the or sorry, the one that we were looking at.
Oh god, that was
You
it's
don't
like
like
two
this.
like just like the second one. Yeah, I hate everything
You
about
hate
this.
that.
I hate everything about this.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Okay.
brings a visceral anger to me. Like internally I'm like, who did this? Who thought this was a good idea? You know, like
Let's so I guess ultimately then in the game, oops, sorry. What happened? Oh, it was thinking. So, oh, sorry. It was thinking. So not doing tabs here. There would be independent,
Correct.
separate character window, which
Yep.
would have all of, this is the other thing, like the character window then has all of the pertinent information.
Yep.
It
Yep.
has obviously the personal information like name, race, level, blah, blah, blah. In addition to that, it has all the vital information. It has your stats. It has your resistances. Um, ignore the all this other stuff, but that's what the main character window will have, and that will obviously be very independent from the inventory,
Yep.
which will also be very independent from the skills,
Yes.
because we haven't even
Agreed.
talked about that.
Agreed.
Okay,
But I
those
just
will
wanted
all
to.
be separate components.
Yes, totally on the same page. My only caveat would be if you click back to inventory. Um, to me, inventory would have some elements from the character page, like we had mentioned, where that's how you can see the stat changes when you equip things, right?
No,
Oh.
so uh, the character now will. Sorry. So this right here, this part, which it's hard to picture this
Hmm.
character sheet, the paper doll, we call them
Yep.
the paper doll,
Yep.
will have all of these slots in it on the character sheet.
Okay.
So kind of like this, right? Kind of like whichever one we were looking at in Diablo.
Yeah.
So picture this right here, these slots on the on the Diablo, this right here.
So this screen to me, this one, I would have considered that the inventory screen.
Nope, this is the character screen.
Ah, but then what about the inventory that's below him then? Sorry, on the character screen.
Those are our packs. Those are the packs themselves.
Those are the packs themselves.
This would not appear in our example.
I see.
This would not be here.
Okay.
So this here, yeah, this right here, that's the character screen.
I can live with calling that the character screen, and then the packs would be the inventory, right?
So I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to put this in linear.
Mm-hmm. Like that, I
Um,
agree on that being the character screen, except that I was actually thinking there'd be two character screens. This is like a very bare bones one, that in my opinion, because you're just mainly trying to figure out the items that you want to equip. I was thinking there'd be like a very more pronounced character screen where it shows like your race and all that other information that's not pertinent as much to the item stuff. Does that make sense at all, or no?
sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and that can be easily. Let's see here. Uh, One of these that we were looking at. I'm going to get rid of Minecraft here.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see if I can find one here. So in EverQuest, so we could do something like either tabs where you can switch between the stats, or you can leave it like this. Sorry, you can leave it like this and have the ability to have drop downs on stats or whatnot. Like
Sure.
we can switch between
Sure.
skills or stats or whatever the case may be.
Okay. Okay. So then, okay, I'm actually seeing that eye to eye. That's totally cool. So let's scratch out. Let's say this was the character screen. Let's scratch out that bottom third where all the items are. Right? You like pretend
Yep.
that's gone. Let's
Yep.
pretend the left side is all the pouches and inventory, basically,
That's
right?
right.
So now you're
Yep.
dragging it from the left over to the character screen. Is that how you were feeling about it? Like they'd almost be parallel?
Yep.
So then
Yep.
in the current app where we have it as a character tab and an inventory tab, it's more like they'll just live side by side when you need to do stuff.
That's right.
Okay, I
So there'll
understand
be
now.
separate hotkeys. C for character, and the character screen will show up with the paper doll with all of these things in it.
Okay. But then this feels
Um,
more like the character screen right now. This current inventory.
yep.
This okay, okay, cool. No, no, great. Well, I actually just
Except
mainly
for
wanted
this
to align
crap
on
over here.
language. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, except for this stuff over here.
Yep, yep. No, no, don't worry. We definitely get it. I follow now. But to me, this is poorly named. It should be the character screen, and the character could be like another. I guess we'll have to figure that out. But naming convention wise, based on what we just said, this would be the character screen. You actually are able
Yep.
to pull out an inventory to like affix to the left or right or whatever that has all
Yep.
your items that you drag over. Okay,
Yep.
okay, got it. I follow.
Precisely.
Got it, got it.
And then on the character screen itself, we'll show like the vitals and the
Yeah.
stat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so you can see when you drag the item onto the character screen, your vitals and stats and stuff changing as you do that.
Right.
Because that's also one of the things you're talking about, that visceral reaction to getting a new item and seeing your stats change.
So for me, for something like let's just say the vitals section right there, that would need to live on the current inventory screen. Like if you click the inventory, I feel like that should have the vitals and stuff over there too, right?
Yeah, so so whatever, again, the paper doll next to it will be all of the stats and
Yep,
whatnot.
yep, yep. Okay. So it's almost like whatever we have on the character screen, some of that junk will come over to this current inventory. Yeah, okay, got it.
Like this. So this right here are the stats in
Yep,
Old World EverQuest,
yep,
and it has the paper doll on the character screen.
yep.
It doesn't have any of the um, inventory, as it were, right? It has the packs, but when I click I right now, next to that would be all of the pack opening up with all of the inventory.
Okay. I think we let's async write down a lot of this as a wireframe because
Yep.
for me in my experience this would be like the inventory page like yeah you click I and that's what comes up all the stuff about your character and all your items and stuff right that's like the way that I've kind of experienced it now it seems like there's a little bit of a blend because of the pouch system like do you know how WoW does it then like if you click I you would still kind of see something like this right
I honestly haven't played WoW in so long.
no
I
worries
couldn't
no
tell
worries and
you.
I've never played so I'll have to think about this
Back in the day, let's see if we
because now it
okay.
feels like yeah, my only experience would be that you open your inventory and your character paper doll is also already there for you to do drag and drop stuff, basically.
So this is Vanilla WoW right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Vanilla WoW has the paper doll and the stats in it.
So you would probably press C to open this, and then you'd have to press I to open up your inventory.
And yep, so if you pressed I, this is what would show up in your world.
And okay, I can live with that. And then let's say you wanted to do management, like let's say you're trying to drop stuff, you just drag it out of the inventory and drop it on the ground and just like flop out or something, right?
Yeah, so usually there you could either drag it onto the ground or you could do a delete button. There
Right.
was like a delete thing you could do.
Totally.
But yes, this is the character screen with the stats and the what you're calling inventory on the paper doll itself.
No, no, no. I got it. No, no. This is great. I've never seen this paradigm before, but this makes sense to me. I think MMOs probably do this, so I totally
Yep.
follow. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm more of the action RPG guy, so it's like a totally different thing. So I totally understand why this makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Cool. No, no,
And
no.
again,
I'm aligned.
we don't have to do it this way either.
I think
So
I'm down with whatever people like actually because I'm just thinking about quality of life stuff. But yeah, if people like because this is the character screen.
yep,
Like if you press C. Now if I press I, you'll get all the pouches open up, and you
yep,
just drag stuff over. I presume. Okay.
yep.
No, no, I follow now. I follow.
Okay. Uh, let's make it so.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, I get it. This is great. There's a lot to work on already, so this is great. Um, anything
What else?
else that's a pressing conversation? I think this is really productive, so this is great. Yeah.
Not really. I think this is a good start. I think we made good progress on this.
Hmm.
Like, we talked a little bit about philosophy. We talked a little bit about UI design. We talked a little bit about color schemes. Fonts, I'm still not sure about a font. We have to figure that out.
Sure.
But I do think we came to some good conclusions here.
Yes, absolutely. I have some stuff that I want to cook immediately, especially since the inventory is kind of broken from my last redesign. This is it's all good because it has to get remade almost anyway, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
okay. Then with the user customization of components in mind, I think there's actually a refactor that we need to do immediately. Not to work on the user customization, but to price in the user customization. Um, how does that look to you? Like, is there? I'm trying to think. Like, does the user just have components that they pick off of a shelf, or are they like designing their own stuff to put in?
They're designing their own stuff.
Holy
Well,
crap!
within the framework of this has to be, in our case, this is the character screen. And on the character screen, you have to have all of these things in it, right?
Right.
you have to have all of the slots. You have to have the paper doll. You have to have the stats. So those are, I guess, in JSON format or something, we'd have to
Yeah.
design that,
Yeah.
and then they can determine how those look, what the shape of the inventory slots are. All that is to say, we don't have to do that if we don't want to.
I think we should price it in, but I just want to say that's like a whole app. Like to me, like in my like for things that I've worked on, that's like a whole app in itself
Yeah.
to just be like, hey, let the user. So I'm very impressed that this exists.
Yep. And modding, I mean the UI mod stuff, it's a whole community of people that just is so impressed with what they do.
Well, then, quick question for you because it's not like Facebook or Instagram lets you cook your own custom components to do whatever you want. Is this because the modding community had access to like code or something that they could work directly with, or?
Well, I can't speak to EverQuest. I can only
Mm-hmm.
speak to WoW.
Sure.
And WoW, literally, there was just Lua files that Blizzard gave to people for the base UI, and then the community could go in and tinker with them to come up with things that they wanted. So,
Oh, I like that because then I could almost see. Oh gosh, that's tough. But I could almost see an instance where we make sure everything gets transcribed as a JSON, and we just say, "All right, users, go free." Because making it really custom, where we have to handhold and make it like an editor. That's what I had in my mind
yeah,
as an editor. That would
yeah,
be crazy. I'd say, yeah.
yeah. Um, did you want to talk about any other windows, or is this a good stopping point, do you think?
I think we're good, but if there's any other windows that you're excited about, I got time, so let me know. But I think we're good. I think we have a lot to work on. But let me know if there's one more
Uh,
window that you're like, hell yeah. Skills. Oh, that's gonna be a behemoth.
so there's two different things in AOD that we need to talk about. One is well, let's go back to EverQuest. I kind of told you about this. Like, EverQuest was very much a skills-based game where you gathered skills, and then this is this is like a mixture of EverQuest and EverQuest 2. You would gather your skills and practice them as you were walking around the world, etc. And so you got better with your skills by using them. And I want to follow that same paradigm with AOD. So it's different from WoW. With WoW, once you got the skill, you were max with the skill. You would just do whatever. Obviously, it would increase with your level, with your character level, but you didn't have to do anything. Once you got the skill, that was it.
Follow.
Actually, I lied. Like, certain skills you would get better at. But let me see if I can find like the skill book.
So to interrupt you really quickly, would
Yeah,
it be like, let's say you got a healing spell? Is it the more you use the healing spell, you were almost gaining experience and leveling that up? Is that what you mean?
that's exactly
Got it.
right.
Okay, because
100% correct. There's character experience, and then there's skill experience.
I think
And
that's
every
great.
skill
Yeah.
that you pick up has its own separate skill experience.
Okay, so then, because I'm thinking about some other games, like I've seen the unlock once, have forever, and then what you do is you power up that skill via leveling up other things, right? I actually really like the you have to use a spell to level it up, but then that's you don't like the one where maybe every time you level up, you gain a free skill point to make a skill constantly growing. I hate that one, by the way, but I was wondering how you felt about that one versus using a skill to experience gain on it. I've actually never seen that one.
So there's a few things there to unpack. One, no, I don't like adding skill points, so
Sure.
I'll just cross that off.
Cool.
But the skills in AOD are based off of a tree, in the sense that there's a meta skill, meaning that there are 10 meta skills. Like offense is a meta skill, and within offense, underneath that, are things like one-handed weapons,
Yeah.
two-handed slashing, one-handed bludgeoning weapons, kicking, punching. All of these things are offensive skills. So as I'm going through the world and I'm punching someone, my punch skill increases. But in addition, the offense skill increases, the parent skill increases. So now if I pick up a one-handed slashing weapon, I already have the parent skill of offense leveled up quite a bit. So it gives me an inherent bonus So I can pick up a one-handed slashing weapon. I'll still have to maximize the one-handed slashing, but I do get an inherent bonus from the offense from punching so much. So this is kind of what EverQuest did in its original form, where you would have parent skills that help you out and give you a little bit of advantage if I want to pick up a new skill along the way.
Got it. No, I think it's great. I've actually never played that kind of style, and that sounds like a lot of fun to me. What I was thinking would be, it'd be weird to be like level 95 and like you're working on a healing spell, but I was like level 1 and you're just like going around healing everyone for 8 life points or something. Like, just like, it's like weird to just have to keep grinding it, starting, even though you're so powerful, you're like still grinding the skill. And I think there's like kind of something interesting and fun there to unpackage. So
That
that's
actually
really
was
cool.
how EverQuest worked,
Got it.
honestly,
Hmm.
is if you picked up a new skill at level 60 that you have never used before, you would go back and you would farm old content to level up that skill.
You're like a weenie
Now,
again. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
exactly. Now, to be fair, they put in some, like, if you're level 60, you're using a level 1 skill, it increases the factor of skill experience by a certain percentage to make it a little bit easier for you to catch up with those skills.
Got it.
The Honestly, the idea is you're going to be using these skills as you are leveling up anyway, based off of the class structure, such that you probably aren't going to pick up a skill at level 60 that you haven't already used.
Sure, sure. No, no, this is. Do you want to know something hilarious? That's the Call of Duty grind model.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they do. So I lied. I have played a game that implements that same thing. So no, no, this is great. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's usually very addictive. And you're just kind of like, you get to see like, oh, I'm only healing for 8 points, but once I kept using it nonstop, oh, suddenly it turned to 12, and suddenly it turned to
That's
16.
right.
So I totally get it. I think it's really cool. Okay, cool.
So let me see this skills window UI. I don't know if there's a good example of like what I'm picturing here.
Mhm. Have you seen like the
So,
Skyrim one? Have you ever played Skyrim? Oh my god! Like I played Skyrim for like 6 hours, and once I had to do all the skills tree stuff, I was just like, this is
oh,
like,
no! I know what you're talking
it
about.
was
Yes,
it was so crazy that I was like, I can't do this. I'm sorry. Like my IQ is too low to handle like 100 skills or whatever this is.
so you bring up a great point. There's Let's be clear about like skills versus skill trees.
Hmm.
So in AOD, let's just take a mage. I'll just bring up a mage or a warrior. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll take a mage as the example.
Sure.
The very first skill that a mage gets is called a firebolt,
Classic.
right?
Yep.
Classic. It's just, it does a certain amount of fire damage to a single target, and it has a chance to do additional fire damage over like 1 or 2 turns.
Hmm.
You get that at level 1. Okay. However, that doesn't mean that I'm specializing in firebolt or anything like that. It just means that that's the skill. That's the base skill. And I'll level that up as I'm leveling my character. I'll level it up. I'll get that to, level 5, level 10, level 20, etc. That's skill. But now there's this idea of skill trees where I can get better with that firebolt. So maybe now as I'm leveling up, I'm calling them mastery points in AOD.
Sure.
I dedicate a certain percentage of my character experience as I'm grinding, as I'm going through the game, to mastery point experience. And now I can take that firebolt, and instead of just being the base values, now I can increase the chance to crit. I can increase the duration of that fire damage over time,
Yep.
that
Yep.
DOT. So you can customize these skills via skill trees,
Yes.
which is independent from the base skill.
Yep.
Hopefully that makes sense.
No, it makes a ton of sense. Like, at least correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say you start with the initial fireball. In the games that I've played, like let's say you wanted to be a fire mage. You know, the fireball leads to the AOE fireball. It leads to this. Like, it depends on like how you want to treat it. Then what
Yep,
I've seen recently is you have a fireball and you almost have like a sub skill of the fireball. Like now, now it's like, oh, it goes through enemies and everybody in the path gets hit.
that's right.
So that's how I'm imagining it, is that there's unlocking the new skill, and there's also like the existing skill getting more buff.
Exactly
Okay,
right.
cool. So I love that. What I don't like is let's see. Actually, no, I changed my mind already. I think in this game, I know, I'm very loose with this. I could see a really cool thing where if you get Fireball leveled up to a certain amount, then that unlocks a different skill for you to go unlock. Is that how you were thinking about it, or is it like no, we got to go down the tree to keep unlocking the skills?
So not skills. So as you level up,
Mm-hmm.
character level. So at level 1, I get
Uh
Firebolt.
huh.
At level 4, I get Frost Aura.
Oh, okay, okay.
At level 8, I get Fireball. So Firebolt is a single target.
Right.
Fireball is
AOE
everyone in
ball.
a group.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Frost Aura allows me to survive in combat because it freezes the enemy.
Okay.
As I'm leveling those skills up, they become more effective. But in addition to that, each one of those class skills has what we would call a specialization component to it. So, Fireball, to your example, it now does better. It can't be resisted, or it reduces the resistance as I'm both skilling up Fireball and as I put mastery points into it.
Got it.
It does more damage. It does more crit. It does longer DOT, etc.
So can we
So
talk about mastery points then? Because I was imagining mastery points as the more you use a skill, the more that skill levels up. I had thought that's what a mastery point was, but now it sounds like you can put a mastery point because mastery point when you said put it into that skill, that sounds like skill points to me.
right. So it is.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct. It is. It is absolutely that. So, and this goes back to EverQuest's alternate advancement. It's a people loved AAs. They went gaga for AAs in EverQuest world. It's called alternate advancement, and basically what happened is you're going to reach a cap at some point in your character progression, right? You reach level 60, level 80, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. You won't be able to earn any more experience for your character level.
Mm-hmm.
So what EverQuest did is they decided, well, okay, anywhere along the line, you could actually change the amount of experience that you're earning, character experience that you're earning, and you could put some to AA and some to your character leveling. Whether it's 50-50, 80-20, you could put 100% of the experience you earn into AA and not level up your character anymore. As a matter of fact, that's what happens at max level for characters. 100% of the experience is now going to AA. And in our game, that's just mastery points.
Okay.
AA is the same thing as MP. So as I'm leveling up the game, my character, I should say, I might divert 20% of my leveling experience to MP. When I get an MP level, I can take that point and I can specialize in Firebolt or Frost Aura or Fireball. So there will be a specialization tree within the class skills, but you're capped at how many mastery points you can earn. So you can't be a jack of all trades and put maximum points in every skill. I will have to choose whether I want to be a specialist in Firebolt or Fireball, or if I want to be a Frost Mage and specialize in that.
Okay,
So
okay. I think if we can actually create a diagram or sort of like a spec sheet, I think that'd be huge for me because to me, you had mentioned like, oh, I don't even unlock Frostbolt or something until level 4 because and that makes me bummed out as somebody. I love playing mages, and like if I roll one, oh, I'm going out of my way. This is gonna be an ice mage. This will be a lightning mage. This will be a fire mage. So but it sounds like with this current paradigm, I would have to grind a fire mage every single time in order to make an ice mage later. Would you disagree that? Am I looking at that incorrectly?
no, so as a base mage, this gives you the opportunity to pick and choose which paths you want because you're going to pick up these skills along the way, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to obviously be using them. So Froster, I'm going to be using, or Frost Bolt, I'm going to be using as I'm leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what the mastery point system does, is it allows you to get to be the best in those skills.
Right.
So you can choose as you're leveling up if you want to be a fire mage or a frost mage, but at some point you will pick and choose whether you want to be a fire mage or a frost mage.
Okay. Okay.
Because I get to allocate my mastery points wherever my specialization is, Now, obviously, you can respec and you can play around with it, etc. But it gives you the flexibility to be the best frost mage on the server or the best fire mage on the server, however you want to build your spec.
Yeah, because maybe there's hybrid approaches, or maybe there's a three
That's right.
element mage. I totally follow. I guess to me though, that feels exactly like skill points still. Like I don't see how that's different than skill points. And you had just said, and I hate skill points, and I think you had just mentioned you didn't either. So I'm like, how is that different than skill points?
It's a little bit different in the sense that these would be more like you're not wrong, right? There's a distinction here. There's like a fine line between what is a skill point versus what is an MP versus like customizing my specialization. Like while, for example, I put a certain number of points as I'm leveling up into my spec, into my trees in order to do that, to get better at that
Mm-hmm.
specialization. All of the MMORPGs have some form of this. It's just a question of what they're calling it.
Got it.
So the big difference is as a character, when I get to level from level 1 to level 2, I don't earn any skill points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to immediately spend skill points on something.
Right, because you were saying you had to choose between AA versus experience.
That's right.
Okay, okay, okay.
I can grind slower my character level. Maybe I'm at 50-50 experience and I'm grinding mastery points at the same time as my character level.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that sense, yes, you're right. If I went 50-50, I would get mastery points to increase my skills. The problem is I don't even have that many skills to choose. At level 1, I won't have anything,
Nope, just
right? I'll,
fireball.
I'll just have
Yep.
fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Then on that note, last question for you. I think
yep,
I have a good picture, and I think that is actually a very fun grind model that actually makes a lot of sense to me. You were talking about skills leveling up by using them. This now the introduction of mastery skill or mastery points or slash skill points. Doesn't that kind of like are they one and the same? Are they different? That's what I'm trying to figure out now.
they're different. Yep.
Okay.
So, every skill is capped by the character level. So, for example, Firebolt, it's 5 points per character level. At level 1, I can only get my Firebolt to skill 5.
Right.
The damage that a Firebolt will do is based off of its skill level.
Yep.
So, a level 1 skill Firebolt might only do 1 damage.
I
A
follow this.
level
I follow this logic by the way because you don't want a level one doing level 99 firebolt damage. I totally follow. Yes.
That's right. But now let's say I'm a level 60 sorcerer, um, and I've leveled up my firebolt now to 300 because it's 5 per, right?
Right.
Now the base damage of that firebolt might do 400 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to have a base effect since I'm grinding that firebolt. But now I have mastery points that I can spend on firebolt. And I might spend 5 mastery points in firebolt to reduce the chance that the enemy resists the firebolt, or increase the chance to crit with firebolt by 20%,
Okay.
or increase the duration of the fire dot by 20%.
Okay.
I get to customize how I want to play my character by those skills by having specializations within each one of those skills, those class skills.
No, I follow now. Would you say that then those are sub skills to the skill, or would you say those are attributes of the skill?
Those are skill trees, is what I would call them.
Oh, interesting.
These are skill trees. Like you get to specialize a skill and go down certain paths to specialize what those skills and how you want to play.
Okay, so let's use the second. Let's use that fireball right there. Let's just say that's your level one fireball or something. Let's just
Yep.
for the sake of and let's say
Yep.
that this skill tree branches. This
Yep.
logic I get because it's sort of like oh you can't unlock that skill until
That's
you
right.
unlock this skill. That I follow. So when
Yep.
you were saying you use mastery points, to me I was thinking, oh okay, you know what? I'm putting it together now. I would need a mastery point in order to unlock that next skill. Does that sound right now?
That's correct. Well, not
Okay,
next
okay.
skill. Not next skill. Not
Oh,
next skill. Let's
because
be
you were talking
clear.
about attributes of the firebolt. That's why I was like,
So within this skill tree, like the base one where I'm hovering right now,
yeah,
that just might be more damage. That's the category, more damage.
Right.
And it'll say for every point you put into Firebolt, for every mastery point you put into Firebolt, you get plus 2% damage.
Yes.
Maximum of 5 points that I can put into this. So now I put 5 mastery points into this one right here, this Firebolt here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get plus 10% damage now on every single Firebolt I do.
Okay.
It unlocks these 2 trees, and they're mutually exclusive. This one is higher crit chance. This one is longer dots duration. And I have to choose, do I want to do more damage over time, or do I want to do higher crits?
Okay.
Now, again, I have to spend 5 points here. I get whatever, 1% chance per point spent to do better crits.
I follow now. Where would something like an AoE Firestorm, where would that land on the skill tree for you? Like how would you get to there basically?
So you wouldn't be in this Firebolt skill because Firebolt
Oh.
is a single target spell.
Oh, okay.
And you have to take into account the speed of this Firebolt, which is fast, the amount of mana or energy that you consume, which is low, compared to an entirely different skill, Fireball, which you're going to pick up at level 8 or level 12 or whatever the level is for Fireball. And the characteristics of Fireball are completely different. It's a slower spell, but it does an area of effect damage. So it will do an entire group.
Yep.
Or it might do three enemies.
Sure.
So then the Fireball mastery skills might be, okay, it might be base damage at, the base tier, but then within the 2 that might be, okay, this increases the number of targets on the second level. Now instead of 3 targets, it hits 4 targets or 5 targets or 6 targets or an entire group or whatever the case may be on one tree. And the other tree, again, might be dot or something of that nature. So each skill has its own specializations, masteries, as it were. And I can pick and choose how I want to play my character based off of the mastery points I have.
I finally follow. So I was imagining one tree for all the fire skills. And it's like you go Firebolt, you go to Fireball, you go to Firestorm, and then you go onto like Hydra summoning. You just keep going down.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's actually pages and pages and pages of skill trees, but it's all individual to one skill that you keep getting better, and then you can find a different one. Does that sound right?
So in the Google Drive, I have these laid out,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see. I haven't invited AOD to the Google Drive, but you can kind of get a feel for like on the thief/rogue/assassin skill trees. You can get a feel for the base skills themselves. And let me see here.
I just opened one called class skills, but I see a lot of them.
Yeah, that's the base one. There's a better one, which is the actual individual class ones.
Mm-hmm. Man, I've been playing 1D RPGs. This is I finally get why I was missing it. If the gap is let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm off still. But it sounds like there's just a lot of different skill trees for you to unlock and go for, right? Yeah.
Each skill has its own mini skill tree.
We are now talking the same language. I got you now because I was imagining just one tree for all the skills that you will possibly ever be able to do. But I get it now. Okay.
That's how most like MMORPGs like WoW works. EverQuest didn't even have this. Wizardry didn't even have this sort of concept of specializations or skill trees or whatnot. This honestly came from WoW more than anything, where they had specs and you could spec in a certain way. And to your point, their model was what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's the Diablo model, obviously, because these are all Blizzard models, etc., where you have one tree and it increases fire by 10%, increases cold duration by 2 seconds or whatever the case may be. That is the classic WoW/Blizzard model, where I have one specialization. AOD is a little bit different in the sense that you have skill specialization. I think Titan Quest does this as well, where you can really focus. If I want to be the best Firebolt person in the world, I can do that by specializing in that tree.
No, I love it. I think it's a great idea, especially if down the line you can add synergies like, oh,
Exactly.
if you get fireball maxed out, there's like plus 15% fire bonus to fireball. Don't
Precisely.
worry. I totally I
That's
see it now.
exactly
I
the
did
point.
not think of it that way before, but I totally understand what you're getting at
Yep.
now. Okay.
That's exactly the
Okay.
point, is you can have these synergies between your skills. So to your point about fireball, yeah, now I invest a point in fireball. I have a tree in fireball based off of my firebolt skill. I can truly be a master of fire.
I get it. I follow now. I follow now. That makes a lot more sense, and this checks out with me. Got it. Yeah, yeah. So it's like Firebolt can eventually do crazy shit as time goes
Yep.
on. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Like maybe the cast speed gets crazier. Yeah, what have
That's
you.
right.
Yeah, got it.
Cast speed or energy consumed or initiative is faster, blah, blah, blah. All the
Yeah,
stuff that goes into it.
yeah. Okay. No, no. I totally follow. No, this helps a lot. Is there a skill tree that you have in mind that you like the design of? Because otherwise, I feel like it is just a tree. But, but
Yes.
yeah.
So the firebolt is the one that I was first starting with on the mage sheet.
Hmm.
I was going to bring it up, but I want to do it off screen
No
here.
worries. No, this is really cool because there's actually a lot of UI that will need to go into this as well of figuring out
Yes.
how to display this because you don't want to just give the user like a sheet of spells that they have to go navigate through. So I'm right there with you. I follow now. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't given this. Have not given this access yet. So, but I'll go in here. Let me just go in here and give it access. Cool.
No, thank you for walking me through that. I think I get it for sure. Yeah.
So here's an example of just some of the skills that a mage will have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just realized I froze up there. Okay, I'm back.
Got it. No, no, I follow. No, this is great. And
So
then
ignore some of these. These are just
yeah.
skills that you're gonna have
There's gonna
to
be
start.
some person who maxes out ice armor and they're just running around taking 0 damage, freezing everyone, and they just run around or something. I already
Exactly.
get
That's
it.
what I hope happens.
I already get what you're saying. Like someone's like doing like the meme skills to like the nth degree and stuff. But we
And
make
I
sure
sure
it's
hope
cool.
that's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, yeah,
As
yeah.
developers, we come up with these skills, but we don't know where the end is,
Right.
and we can't possibly picture it. And there's going to be some character, to your point, who's running around with max frost aura with max specialization, combined with all of the other cold skills later on, and
Yeah.
they're just going to be owning everyone.
Right, right. We figure out that they've left their computer like idling and they walked away, but they made a build that'll just farm indefinitely
That's
because
right.
of the certain setup they have or something. So I
And I
get
hope
it.
that
I get
happens.
it.
I really hope that
Yeah, yeah,
happens.
same, same.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah, because I definitely loved making these builds that were like, oh, that shouldn't happen or that wasn't intended. That's really fun. So I get it.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Uh,
Cool.
so I don't actually see Fireball on here. I think you get it as a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fireball is a level 21 skill as a wizard.
Okay. And for items, were you thinking that items could also give you mastery points and
Yes,
or whatever, like passively by holding it, they yeah
exactly. That's the beauty of the synergy between items and skills.
yeah
Is one, you can just like, okay, this item is Fireball. It just gives you a base level of skill increase on Fireball. Or in addition to that, it might do like if you have in the Fireball skill tree, you might have. Let me see if I have this. Oh, come on. Why is it freezing? Anyway, you get.
just lost you slightly, but
I'm
yes,
freezing.
yes,
Oh no!
but don't worry. The
Come
last
back,
thing you
me.
said was you get the point, I
Whoa!
think, and
No,
yes, I do. I got you back if you can hear me.
wow, no, my entire screen just froze for about 10 seconds. Not happy with me. Uh, yeah. But yes, you get the idea.
I do, I
You'll
do.
specialize, and items will absolutely uh, increase the skills and the specializations of those classes.
And one last point that I want to make, I actually don't like rolling new characters every single time to start a new build that I want. Will users get the opportunity to just kind of like reset but
100%.
keep all their points?
Yes, yes, and no.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 100% yes, they can respec, but they can't do it willy-nilly. There's a kind of like it's almost like exponential back off in your queuing world. Sorry for those at home, but yes, there needs to be a certain level of cost associated with respecing.
Sure, sure.
But yes, 100% throughout the entire game, people can respec and experiment and play around with it.
So when you're thinking about cost, it's not just going to be like, oh, using gold or something to buy a coin, to buy some sort of, let's just say a totem or something that lets you do a respec. You're thinking like there will be a small punishment. Maybe you lose X amount of mastery points or something to start over, or
Honestly, I was thinking just gold, but now that you mention it, maybe there is something
I don't know.
that goes along with it. I don't know.
I've only seen it in games where like you gotta grind certain bosses to get certain body parts off of them to combine into a
Sure.
totem or something like that. And I've seen
This
other
is
ones where
where
you just
we
pay for it. So yeah.
yeah, this is I mean, I didn't even think about that. So this is where the design comes in.
Sure, sure. Yeah, because
We
one of
can
the ones
figure
is
that
that
out.
yeah, one of the ones is like it's like if we want them to grind or if we want them to pay or if we want them to suffer some sort of experience hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to your point, you could have like since skills have their own separate experience, you could to your point, you lose skill experience and you have to grind it up a little bit.
Or it's like often it can be a very it's like a legendary drop I've seen in other games too, where that's
Yeah.
like a certain thing that drops off of a certain boss, and then that
Yep.
almost becomes a currency in the ecosystem of the game
Sure.
because people want to respec all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And so they have to get this drop and then it's sold on the auction house,
yeah.
etc. So
Or it's like a
makes a
common
lot of
drop where you
sense.
have to kill 20 bosses and you have to hope that you get
Sure.
it. It's like you hope you get the
Yep.
shimmering or whatever off of that guy or whatever. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. This is great. This is great content, and we can figure out the design space and figure that out what we want to do.
Awesome. Well, then I think first up, we got some inventory and character screens to start separating and having them be, nice and tidy. And then
Yep.
from there, I think skills will, at least there's a lot of back end work that's needed now, I think, because I don't know if we're doing all the proper, actually, don't correct me if I'm wrong. We might not be fetching and updating and doing all kinds of stuff, but,
We are right now.
okay.
So I have implemented one skill already in the
Mm-hmm.
game. That's the monster lore skill.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if you run around in the world and you hover over a monster,
Mm-hmm.
just lost my entire internet over that 10-second pause here. What's going on here? Or maybe it's just my laptop is freaking out. I don't know.
I feel like it's your internet if I had to make a guess. Oh no.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
It's getting bad.
My whole laptop just froze.
Oh no. Wait, well, if your laptop froze, then it's not your net anymore, then, huh? Oh no, I
No,
lost
it's my
you.
laptop. My laptop's freaking out.
Okay, got it.
I woke. Anyway, there is a skill that's been implemented. It's called Monster Lore, and when you hover over like the spiders, it will immediately fire off an event to use your Monster Lore skill and give you a result.
Got it. I follow. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And
Well,
it
then,
has the skill experience in it. You can level up the skill, etc.
got it. Okay. Well, I have a lot of exciting stuff that, if you don't mind, I want to try to cook on the character inventory,
Sure.
just at least for the display part, and then we'll try to hook up some backend stuff for that as well. Cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Good work. Good working session. I think this was great. I'm glad there's a lot for us to work on still too.
Yeah. Do you have an outro? Do you want to talk about something?
Let's see. My outro. I have nothing to plug. Let me think. Do you have a cool plug right now off the top to inspire me?
Well, so have you watched Landman at all?
Landman. No, you told me about it though. That was
Did
one of
I
your plugs. Yeah.
Did I already?
You deplugged it. Until they pay us, you can't plug it again.
Well, so the reason I ask about Landman
Mhm.
is not Landman, the series itself. Did I talk about aromatherapy, shower therapy?
You did not. You only talked about Landman.
Okay, so that's what I was going to go into. Is so in season 2, there's an episode. The female lawyer, I forget her name. She gets drunk. I don't want to do any spoilers. I shouldn't do any spoilers. But anyway, she has a shower and she takes these things called a shower aromatherapy pod. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
It's sort of like you drop it at the bottom, and when you shower, it'll like make nice smells come up, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
I have never heard of this before.
Mm-hmm.
So I got inspired by that and I went onto Amazon, plug Amazon, I guess. But and
Oh no.
I bought
Okay, I got you
ever
back.
a yeah, I froze again. I don't know what's going on. Like every time I freeze, it's actually my laptop. It's chugging.
Okay.
It's
Well,
churning.
hey, you know what? It's good for us to figure out at least one culprit here. But yeah, continuing
That's
with the
right.
aromatherapy bomb.
Anyway, so the come on, dude, in the world, come on.
You're back right now.
Am I really? Because
Yeah,
I'm completely locked still on my screen.
I can still see you right. I can finally see you right this moment, and I lost you again.
Yeah.
Now you're
My
bugging out on my side crazily.
entire laptop.
If there's any sponsors out there, we really need your help. We really need a new laptop. We're just two broke developers. We're trying to make a dream happen.
What in the world?
You're kind of back, but your audio is not synced with your video.
I'm trying to shut down as much as possible. My laptop literally is frozen.
This is a new laptop too, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely a new gaming laptop, and it's completely locked up.
Bummer.
It is churning so hard. I wonder if it's overheated.
Well,
I've
it's a
never had
bad
this
time to
happen
need RAM
before.
right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it like is like 6 to 8 times the regular going rate right now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
For anyone out there, Steven 19 more RAM. I'm only on 16 gigs.
Okay, I'm closing down everything.
Hey,
This is
it's working. I think you're staying more stable.
I literally shut down pretty much every window that I had opened. So anyway, I don't know where I dropped off other than just
Tell me
saying,
more about the aromatherapy bomb. That's where we're at right now. You just finally got some. Yeah.
yeah, so I went on Amazon, I ordered some aromatherapy shower pods. I don't know what they're actually called.
Mm-hmm.
And they are absolutely divine. I love them.
Are you a
I
candle guy
highly
too? Because I feel like they're like the same, school of like nice smells.
what was that? I didn't catch that.
Are you a big candle guy? Like, do you like candles too?
I honestly don't, other than if I'm doing a party or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll have candles going. But like I won't have some candles at home just burning just because
Sure,
of the
sure.
smell.
So you got a shower bomb. I think that's what they're called, shower bombs. Because I've heard
Are
bath
they?
bombs.
Okay.
But you call them shower pods or whatever. So you throw them down there, and it sounds like does it actually are your nostrils cleared out, or your sinuses cleared out, or like how does it go?
So I bought this eucalyptus lavender flavor, and my goodness, it's just like so relaxing. It's so calming.
Yeah.
I don't know that it necessarily clears out my sinuses or anything, but man, it feels so good afterwards.
I'm buying some right now because
Plus
I'm
one.
trying to reduce some of my stress levels, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's okay if I waste a little water just chilling in there, right? Like,
that's exactly what it is. And so, man, I am truly impressed by these things. And so I just want to shout out to Landman for giving me this idea. I'd never heard of it before.
awesome, dude. I'm telling you, man. Next up, we're gonna go buy some land and we're gonna go prospecting, man.
I know. So, do you have any shout outs? I don't know if you did like 10 shout outs while I was sitting here
Yeah, no, no, no.
frozen
I
in.
got I got no plugs right now. All I got shout out is my sister's birthday today, where I'm gonna get to go pick up some pizza to go hang out with her. Happy birthday, Joy. Otherwise, then my plug will be shout out to Slice House for being open right now as I go pick up pizza.
That's awesome. Shout out to Slice
Shout
House.
out to Slice House. You guys have the best New York pizza in this area, at least.
That's awesome. Cool.
Cool.
Good episode. Love
Yes.
it. I think we
Yes.
got a lot done.
Absolutely. We got a ton done. All right. Good
All right.
talk. Good talking to you. I'm gonna go pick up some of these shower pods.
Okay, and I'm gonna go buy a new laptop.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable. All right.